What is burnout? That is today's question of the day. And I typically think of burnout as us being on a 10-point scale, right? At one end of the scale, we have zero stress. So we're at zero. Ideally, we don't want to be there. We can end up in bore out. We can end up in this under-challenged burnout, or we'd have no motivation, no drive, no want to get out of bed in the morning. At the other end of this 10-point scale, then at 10, we have chronic stress. Now, this can be chronic debilitating stress. Chronic stress can lead to all sorts of issues to do with mental health, emotional health, physical health. So we don't really want to be at 10 either. But if we think about burnout, I describe burnout as being what happens when we fall off the end of that 10-point scale. Right, we find ourselves not being able to function, not being able to move, not being able to think, not being able to really do anything. For me, at the peak of my burnout, when I'd fallen off the end of that scale, things like picking up a glass of water felt like too much. I have known and worked with clients who stared at a blank wall for 6 weeks or really, really struggled to get out of bed. Now, the World Health Organization, the definition by the World Health Organization tells us that burnout is undermanaged chronic workplace stress. But we know that burnout doesn't just happen to those people that are employed. Burnout can happen to any of us, really, at any point of our life. So if we want to think about burnout and the impact that it can have on us, we take a 10-point scale. Burnout is what happens when we fall off the end.